How's it going, guys? It's been a while since I did a knife video. I've been making a lot of knives lately, selling a lot of knives, but haven't done videos on any of them. But I figured I would do one today here with the knives I've got around. Start with this one that I just finished the sheath for today. This is it's a big, what I'm calling a frontier style Bowie with forged iron handguard on it, which I've been wanting to try out doing for a while. Actually, I have done one or two of them before, but not quite to that extent. And this one, also unusual for me, is a full tang, and that one has the taper to it like you see on old full tang knives of the 1800s. And the sheath is a frog style sheath, which has this thing on it with the belt loop which slides on, and the antler stud keeps it from sliding up. You can take this off and just stick it in the belt or something with the stud. And if you'll pardon me for 1 second, I'll take the sheath off. I did this one with a forged finish. I forged it really close to shape, more so than usual, and then just ground the edge. And it still has a nice, not overly thick convex edge, but it is a bit thicker, a bit more mass behind the edge than I would normally do, but that would make it an excellent chopper. Blade's 10 inches long, and it's a clip point with a sharpened back edge. Steel pins in the handle, which is oak, and it has a pretty good feel to it. This is currently maybe my favorite knife I've made. I don't know, it's hard to say. I mean, it's like picking your favorite kid, you know? But I do like this one. And see if I can get it back in there. And a couple other ones that I've had around for a little while are a couple broken back Saxons. They're basically the same, but one is a little bigger than the other. These are like a 8th to 9th century, basically combat knife of medieval Britain, early medieval Britain, the Anglo-Saxon era. And there's a little bit of real simple decoration on there. The broken back Saxons typically were quite a bit simpler and plainer, generally speaking, than the Nordic types of Saxons, which more often had fancier handles and pattern welded blades. There were some pretty fancy broken back ones also with pattern welded blades, but generally they tended to be plainer. And my idea with these ones was to make something that was definitely on the plain and inexpensive end, that, you know, a regular guy might have had, you know, some regular volunteer soldier in the Anglo-Saxon Fyrd, which was kind of like a militia basically that would be called up. You know, this was the era before professional armies. But get one of them out. This is the smaller of the two. And it's just a, see, it's a real basic one-piece handle, no bolster or anything, which was fairly common and a somewhat typical blade shape. Sometimes they had straighter edges than this. Sometimes they had more curved edges than that. There's a lot of really bad sax reproductions out there that's just a piece of steel with a straight edge and the spine is parallel and it's chopped off, and it just kind of looks like an ugly Bowie knife, and the originals don't really look anything like that, but people that are kind of marginally into these kind of have the idea that that's what a sax looks like, but this is a much more representative shape, kind of an in-between somewhat as far as how much the edge curves. It does have an obvious similarity to Bowie knives. I don't think it's any kind of direct evolutionary connection between them. My theory on the similarity is it's just a fairly natural blade shape to forge. You clip off or forge down that point, and then you start forging the edge, and it starts curling up, and you straighten it out more or less, more for a sax or less for a Bowie. But that's what I think anyways. And the sheaths have these two attachments on them, and they would kind of hang down basically from the front of your belt or a little bit towards the left side, and these are, you see, one's longer than the other, so the blade is angled, pointed slightly downward with the edge up, handle sticking forward or to the right. That one's a little bit of a tighter fit. This one's my favorite personally, maybe just because it's bigger. But has a nice handle shape as well, a little more contoured, which was necessary just because of the width of the blade. It's another official, if you will, feature of a pretty much authentic sax, that the handle is always the same width as the blade, and you'll have a taper. At least the broken back sax is the widest point is always in here. The thickest point also is in there, which I've done pretty much with these. The difference in thickness is pretty subtle, but it's there, and it definitely tapers down to the handle on both of them. So that's them, and these are all for sale if you're interested. If you are interested, email me at, if I can remember my own email, knifemaker84@gmail.com. That's knifemaker and then the number 84. And I'll, we'll discuss whatever, and I'll send you a PayPal invoice. PayPal only, pretty much. If for whatever reason you don't use PayPal, if you can use eBay, I'll send you my eBay link, but it's always preferable to keep the sale off of eBay and avoid the 10% seller's fee. But that's what I've got around lately. I've also been doing a lot of the Yakut knives. I have made a couple of videos on those, and I've ended up making a lot of those. They sell pretty quick, definitely a popular item. And lately I have even taken to just making the blades and selling a finished blade, but not a finished knife. And even just the blades sell out pretty quick. So anyways, I guess that's it. thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, last point I'll get into, I suppose. Well, this is boring stuff. I'm going to be actually uploading this video onto 2 channels. You know, I've mentioned this in the last one. I lost access to my Google account some time ago, and so I made a new one and made a new channel and everything, and then just relatively recently I found the old password and got back into my old account and old YouTube channel and everything. So I'm putting this on the old channel and the new one, so I don't know which one you're watching this on, but if you are on the old Backwoods Bladesmith channel, it would help out a lot if you would subscribe to the new channel, because I had thought about going back to the old one, but I've made the new one, you know, I made the new email, new YouTube channel, new everything, and I've been using that for quite a while and don't really want to go back to the old one. And not many subscribers at all followed me to the new channel, but I would prefer to just continue using that new one. So if you're on the old one, it would help out a lot if you'd subscribe to the new one. So that's it, and I'll talk to you later.